my name is James Howe, and this is my second vlog video. Today's date is 27 February 2011. Last week was our 5th week of class. We continued preparing to travel to the Princeton High School to conduct the orchestra. Monday and Wednesday both consisted of members of the class once again singing up and conducting the orchestra, which was really composed of members of the class singing through the various melodic parts. I didn't conduct on Monday. I only conducted on Wednesday, in part because I had no way of recording myself on Monday, so I chose not to volunteer. But I had a charger by Wednesday and was able to do to obtain an excellent recording. On Wednesday, Dr. Abrahams played for us, except for me. Mateo Neri, another member of the class, played for me fantastically, and I was very grateful for that. But I ran into quite a few problems because my cutoff, the piece itself was absolutely fine, and I think I did a good job. My cutoff was a disaster, absolutely atrocious. And then Dr. Abrahams asked me to do it again, and I still didn't get it right. I was doing it backwards, so at least I had the idea better the second time. But I was trying to do something at the end. I was trying to bring this really big crescendo up, and it really didn't work out the way I'd planned because I did it too quickly and my arms were out, all the way out here, and it was really, really terrible. On the other hand, I felt like I did a decent job conducting, so Thursday morning came. I was really, really psyched to get up in front of the orchestra and make some magic. So I was able to go both Thursday and Friday to Princeton High School. I'm really glad I had that opportunity because I got to see everyone in the class and sort of see how everyone approached it and see how the orchestra responded to each different conductor. The first day when there were 5 of us, including myself, which meant we got a little more time to talk to Mr. Luffren, the conductor there. We all, like I mentioned in my blog last week, we all conducted Believe, which is a piece by Howard Shore. It was the theme of the 2010 Winter Olympics. It's a very great up-tempo piece, lots of fun melodic sections. I wish I could play it. I think it would have been a lot of fun. When we got in there, we found out that a certain section of the orchestra, we had first violin, second violin, 2 cello, I think we had a couple violas, I can't remember. We had a synthesizer covering string bass, we had a synthesizer covering harp, we had a girl at the piano hammering out the bass chords. Hammering is a really strong word. She was playing very well. We had 2 flutes, we had 1 clarinet, and we had a French horn, who did an excellent job of also covering the trumpet part, and the oboe solo. So there were some cues we rehearsed that really weren't used, which I was kind of disappointed. I would have liked to have done the whole thing, but it was a challenge enough dealing with what we had, and so I think that was okay in the end. They were very, very responsive. I honestly think I did the best job conducting than I've ever done in this course, or pretty much ever. They were so responsive to everything we did. I mean, if one of the other conductors started early, they were on top of that, and they recognized that we had made a mistake. They gave excellent, excellent feedback. I mean, they're an excellent orchestra, and I was so glad that that's who we got to work with for our first time conducting a live ensemble. Because I really also feel that our laboratory-style classroom has its limitations in some ways, in that we know it's sort of a rehearsal choir, and I feel like because we're connecting for our peers and we're all approaching it the same way as conductors, we're only leading so much, and I feel like having people that are disconnected in that way from us was a really good experience for all of us in the class as conductors. So Mr. Loughran gave me two big pieces of advice. First, don't give more than you need to in preparation. Apparently I was giving 2 preparations, which was really just overdoing it. I was asking them to raise their instruments with a breath, and then giving them a breath to start, and that really didn't need to be done. As long as I breathed in tempo, I would be fine. And it worked. So, I restarted the piece conductor all the way through. I was very proud of that, because he stopped some of the other conductors to give them tips on what they were doing, and I was really glad. I thought I did a really good job in transition from the A section to the B section. I would have liked my cues in the B section to be a little more prepared. I sort of conducted along with them rather than than cueing them in, but that's something I can work on. After I was done, he reminded me again of the principle of the independence of the left hand. I tended to mirror a lot, and that really, it's sort of useless. It's something I sort of need to work on, clearly. But he compared the right hand to a motor and the left hand to an artist. And I have to work on independence. I know it's something I have to work on, and it's definitely a challenge. But I also don't necessarily know what to do with the left hand. I'm sort of, even when I do want to use it, I'm not sure how I want to use it to do what I want to do. Because I feel like I only have one plane of movement, and that's sort of from side to side. When, as a dancer, I'm used to thinking about it in multiple dimensions. So I have to sort of figure out exactly how I want to use it, and it hasn't really come to me yet. Anyway, like I said, I was really, really proud of myself, and I think I did a fantastic job. At least, especially for my first time conducting an ensemble. I know one of my big problems is also trusting my ensemble, and trusting them to take care of themselves. That's something I definitely have to work on. In part because some of the musicians I've worked with in the past as a conductor, I had to do everything for them, and it needed to work out, so I had to do it. In this case, I'm working with people who understand it in this similar way as I do, so I have to trust them. I don't need to give them everything. I just have to decide what to give them and what they can do on their own. The one big piece of advice he gave to the class, Mr. Loughran gave to the class on Friday, was that you should, when you're conducting, you should feel like you're moving through water. You should feel like there should be resistance, and this does a whole host of things. But in terms of an orchestra, it communicates weight to the strings, so they will understand how to draw their bows, and to quite what physical emphasis you're looking for, which I guess is a really bad way of saying it, but it communicates weight to the strings, essentially. It also allows you to feel your own beat and rebound better, which is something that I really need to work on. One of the things I was actually really proud of was the fact that I think for the first time I felt like I had a definite ictus, that I really felt like there was a point in space that I was sort of not conducting around, but conducting through, which I hadn't really felt before. So I don't know whether that's the baton or simply having an ensemble to direct, but looking at my video and having felt it, I really understood for the first time what an ictus meant, or was supposed to mean, because I mean, it wasn't perfect, but the idea was there, which means I have somewhere to go. The second day, on Friday, I served as a videographer, so I got to watch everyone in the class, and it was really interesting to see not just through the other camera, but not looking at it as, oh my god, I'm going to conduct soon, but as just an observer. And I saw my classmates do some amazing, amazing things that they didn't, that clearly couldn't do in class, but not that I didn't think they could do, but I saw parts of them come out in their conducting that I was really glad that they made a connection to, and I'm really looking forward to this coming week and the rest of the semester, because I feel like having that experience in front of a live ensemble means that we understand more of our power as conductors. I think a lot of us were holding back before, myself absolutely included, but now that we have that feeling, I think we can start to bring in a lot more into our conducting, and into the classroom, which means we'll have more to work with. So I think it was a good experience for a lot of reasons, and I'm actually pretty psyched. Fantastic. But anyway, I think this ends my second blog video. Hopefully the sound in this one works far better than the sound on what was supposed to be the original second one. But anyway, have a very good day.